Every civilization that ever existed left a trace. Ruins, languages, records, legends. But what if one of the largest empires in human history simply disappeared? Not destroyed, not defeated, erased, wiped from maps, removed from textbooks, scrubbed from the official story of how humanity developed. This is not a theory. The evidence is sitting in libraries across Europe, in maps that are hundreds of years old, showing a vast empire covering half the known world. An empire called Tartaria. And today, most people have never heard of it. The question is, why? Let's start with the evidence hiding in plain
Follow this
sight.
ancient marker.
Go to any major library in Europe. Ask to see their collection of maps from the 1500s, 1600s, and 1700s. What you will find on nearly every single one is a massive territory covering modern-day Russia, Central Asia, China, Mongolia, and stretching all the way to the Pacific Ocean, labeled with one name: Tartaria,
True, but look at
or sometimes Tartary. This wasn't a footnote. This wasn't a vague tribal region.
remarkable.
Cartographers, the most precise professionals of their era, consistently marked this empire as one of the largest political entities on Earth. The famous Dutch mapmaker Johann Blau, whose atlas was considered one of the most accurate geographical documents of the era, showed Tartaria occupying enormous portions of Asia. French cartographer Guillaume de Lille, German mapmaker Matthias Seuter, British geographer Hermann Moll, all of them, independently, across different decades, showing the same empire. In 1771, the Encyclopaedia Britannica published a full entry on Tartaria. It described a powerful nation, its borders, its regional divisions, its people. This was not myth. This was documented geography. And then, within a single generation, it was gone. Not just from maps, from encyclopedias, from school curricula, from history entirely. How does one of the largest empires on Earth simply disappear from the record? Before we get to why it disappeared, let's understand what researchers who study this mystery believe Tartaria actually was. The name itself comes from the Tartar peoples, a broad grouping of Turkic and Mongolic tribes who dominated the Eurasian steppe for centuries. But Tartaria, as shown on European maps, appears to be something far more organized than a loose collection of nomadic tribes. Some researchers believe it may have been an interconnected network of highly developed cities, trading centers, architectural hubs, sophisticated infrastructure, stretching from Eastern Europe deep into Asia.
The Silk Road ran directly through territory labeled as Tartarian on many historical maps. And this is where things become genuinely unsettling. Across Central Asia, Russia, and Eastern Europe, there are thousands of buildings, officially dated to the 1700s
They
and
build these
1800s,
giant stone structures.
that some architectural analysts argue contain techniques and design elements that seem unusually advanced for the era. Soaring domes, advanced drainage systems, mathematical precision embedded in stonework.
It's unlike anything I've ever...
Design principles historians normally associate with ancient Rome or Renaissance Europe, appearing in regions that official history often described as undeveloped frontier territory. Some researchers believe these buildings were not actually built in the 1800s. They were restored. Restored after whatever destroyed Tartaria had already happened.
I found it. It's
So,
here.
if
We
Tartaria
must
was
move
real,
quickly.
and the maps say it was, what happened to it? This
No.
is where the
It's
mystery
disappearing.
deepens. Because
Keep
in
the
the
pace.
1700s and early 1800s,
Watch your step
European
here.
travelers
Not much
crossing
further
Asia
now.
repeatedly described something strange. Not thriving cities, but ruins. Entire settlements abandoned. Structures buried beneath layers of earth and mud. One of the most frequently cited accounts comes from Johann Georg Gehmin, a German naturalist traveling through Siberia in the 1730s for the Russian Academy of Sciences.
The scale
He
of this
documented city
architecture,
after city,
it
sophisticated,
defies understanding.
partially buried. And locals reportedly claimed those cities had existed there long before them. Before what? Nobody seemed to know. Or perhaps nobody was allowed to say.